Russian President Vladimir Putin has offered political asylum to former FBI Director James Comey, saying that he's fearful that James Comey is going to be prosecuted in the United States. Comey was, of course, the director of the FBI until he was fired by our President Donald Trump, who was explicit more than once about having fired Comey for reasons related to the FBI's investigation into ties between Russia and the Trump campaign. Then Comey testified before the Senate, calling Trump a liar numerous times. Even though Russia has been providing asylum to NSA leaker Edward Snowden for the past 4 years, this is one of Putin's expert trolling, tongue-in-cheek power plays. Almost nothing that Putin says or does in public is sincere, and it's usually flexing muscles. And he's also, of course, trying to suggest that the U.S. is corrupt, which in some ways it is. And of course, in many ways, Russia is also corrupt. Here is Vladimir Putin on television during an event talking about this. And then we'll go through the translation piece by piece.
Он вдруг сказал, что он записал разговор с президентом, а потом через своего друга передал этот разговор в средства массовой информации. Но это уже звучит и выглядит очень странно, когда руководитель спецслужбы записывает разговор с верховным главнокомандующим, а потом еще через своего друга передает в СМИ. А чем тогда директор ФБР отличается от господина Сноудена? Тогда он не руководитель спецслужбы, а он правозащитник, который защищает определенную позицию. Кстати говоря, если в этой связи против него будут обращены какие-то там преследования, возникнут и так далее, мы и ему готовы будем предоставить политическое убежище в России. Он должен об этом знать.
So let's start with the first part of this, okay? Vladimir Putin saying, Comey said he'd written down his conversation with President Trump and handed it to the media through a friend of his. This does sound and look odd. The director of a security service making records of his talks with the supreme commander and handing it over to the media through a friend of his. Putin can't believe that other leaders let this type of thing go on, or that a political system could even allow this type of thing to go on. There's no chance that Comey is actually going to be prosecuted in the United States for political reasons. I think this is one of those situations where Putin's distaste for the U.S. is overriding his possible admiration of Trump as a tool that he can use, not that he finds Trump to be personally a great guy or smart or anything like that. Maybe it's for optics. Maybe Putin is trying to distance himself from Trump and maybe throw people off. Then Putin went on to say, quote, "It makes him not a security service director, but a civil activist advocating a certain belief." That quote makes me think Putin is just trying to make Comey look bad. Maybe that's what this is all about. And then he added this key line of the entire thing. By the way, if he faces any kind of prosecution in this regard, we will provide political asylum in Russia for him as well. He should be aware of that. Putin's a brilliant political satirist. I mean, not even The Onion could come up with something like this. This is one of the greatest trolls. Milo Yiannopoulos is put to shame by the trolling prowess of Vladimir Putin.
I mean, there's this idea by many that James Comey did something wrong by leaking his notes about his meeting with Donald Trump.
Right.
It's not as if that was classified or he did anything illegal there. You can leak whatever words you said.
No doubt about it.
Yeah.
No doubt about it. And Vladimir Putin, even though saying here that he would provide asylum for James Comey if necessary, simultaneously a brutal oppressor of free speech. Imagine if Comey went to Russia. I hope Comey wouldn't slip down the stairs and fall on a bunch of bullets. I mean, sometimes if there's just a bunch of bullets lying at the bottom of the stairs, it's really easy to fall on them, especially for former American intelligence officers, or, end up falling onto a knife several times and from different angles and then turning around and maybe falling onto the knife with your back or something like that. These horrible things can happen.
He seems like a healthy guy, but if he just all of a sudden drops dead of a heart attack, I mean, that's just what happened.
It's a risk that we've seen, unfortunately, and we're kind of joking, but it is brutal what has happened to many dissidents in and around the Putin regime. Today's episode of the David Pakman Show is made possible in part by Warby Parker eyeglasses. Warby Parker recently did the right thing and ditched advertising on right-wing conspiracy website Breitbart. pulling their ads off, and you can get the free 5-day home try-on from Warby Parker. Check out their glasses. I use them when I'm not wearing contact lenses. I started with the free at-home trial. They send you 5 pairs of glasses. You see which ones you like. You send them back, and whichever one you pick, they will put your prescription into. I like this because I can actually show the glasses to other people and not have to just decide on the spot like in an eyeglass store. The eyeglass industry is controlled by very few corporations that keep the prices very, very high, even over $300 for prescription glasses. With Warby Parker, they start at just $95. Mine costs that, including lenses. And for every pair sold, they give a pair to someone in need. So to try the 5 pairs and support the David Pakman Show, go to warbyparkertrial.com/TDPS.